To Donington for the final round of the Miltech Sport Volkswagen Racing Cup. We are going to go racing in a moment. We have had a stoppage, and this is the reason why. At the first start, Stefan de Resta, with real strife, goes absolutely nowhere from the grid, and thankfully everybody just able to dodge around him. But that wasn't the worst of the dramas. As the cars turned their way through Redgate, pretty much everybody got through safe and sound, but with a very busy grid all running together, it got a bit leery towards the end of the lap. Stefan de Resta did get going, leaving himself with a huge amount of work to do. And at the end of the opening lap, it was Aaron Mason from 6th who battled his way ahead of David Sutton, but they then made contact. Mason, with damage, ran off the road. He rejoined, and as the rest of the pack busied its way through the left-hander of Roberts, a very sideways Stuart Lines was collected by David Fairbrother, who rolled his Sirocco, with others bouncing off into the barriers as well. That brought out the red flag, and the officials with no option but to stop the race. Andy Wilmot being involved in it, as well as Richard Walker. David Fairbrother was fine, but the car rather less so. This is how it looked from another angle. Stuart Lines getting sideways, just being clipped by Fairbrother, that pitched him up onto two wheels, and then over he went. The restart about to get underway here at Donington. Stefan de Resta given another chance to make a good start as the lights go out, and he's done it again. Look, the car goes forward, it goes backwards, it bogs down. Can everybody avoid him? Just about. Thankfully, he gets the car going a bit sooner this time, but de Resta makes a second dreadful start. On board with Joe Fulbrook as they round Redgate for the first time. Quick look in his mirror to see what's going on. But for the title, it is Fulbrook versus Orrock, and Howard Fuller there being given a little tag and getting a bit sideways at Hollywood. To win the championship, Lucas Orrock has to win the race with Joe Fulbrook 4th or lower. If Fulbrook is 3rd and Orrock wins, then it's Fulbrook's title. And wide goes Josh Cagill in number 14. He kicks up loads of dust, and Stefan de Resta is trying to fight back, but he's losing ground rather than making it. Graham Ewing goes ahead of him. David Sutton, involved in an incident before the red flag with Aaron Mason, leads the way here. You can tell it's the end of the season, can't you? There are some very battered cars, all running in close proximity, and Lucas Orrock desperately trying to work his way through to the front to win the race. Out of Coppice they come. Now the run down towards the S's for the first time. This is de Resta's view. The Celtic speed car up alongside Kieran Gallagher should be able to make up a place on the outside line. As the cars flick through the S's on the opening lap of the restart. Now let's have a look at how this restart got underway. You're on board with Joe Fulbrook. The one to watch is ahead to the right, Stefan de Resta, who lurches forwards and then just bogs down completely. He has to fire up the car once again and try to join the race. Many places lost. 98 is the man to watch at the moment, Robert Barrable, who is working his way through the order. Formula Ford racer, rally man, and a very competent peddler indeed is Barrable, and he comes up the inside of James Greenway. We've not seen him in the championship before, but Robert Barrable showing the Golfs are still competitive in a variety of drivers' hands, and he's right on the back of Greenway's Sirocco and keeping at bay Joe Fulbrook. Fulbrook needs to get up the order, but equally Lucas Orrock has got to try and get himself into the lead of the race. Barrable to the inside of Greenway, and he gains the place heading into the Melbourne hairpin. Now what can Fulbrook do to get past him as well? There in the pit lane, I'm afraid, with blue lights are flashing, is 51, which is Simon Andrews' car, and somebody's had a big moment there, heading down to the old hairpin. It looks like James Pyle, who is in the gravel. He's taken the marker boards with him as well. Howard Fuller's awesome car is on the back of the Siroccos of Cagill and Greenway, and Jack Walker-Tully is there with him as well. And in the background is Sam Morgan, big squeal of tyres from Cagill, who locks up going into the Melbourne hairpin. Past him gets Jack Walker-Tully. Fuller tries to attack Greenway, and whoops, a bit of leaning going on there. Fuller, who came off worse of some of the barging at Brands Hatch, had the car rebuilt, but it's not going as strongly here. Cagill back up the inside of him. Josh, who also races in the Sirocco R Cup that supports the DTM, former motorbike racer, comes over the timing line now. That's a 20-minute race, remember, and we are running out of time as the leaders work their way down towards Redgate for the championship. Lucas Orrock has got to get himself into the race lead. This is Stefan de Resta's view, who is still trying to work his way back up the order. He has now put himself onto the tail of Aaron Mason as they drop downhill once again. Heading to the old hairpin, gap on the inside. And with the snatch vehicle out there, Stefan de Resta goes through. But I just wonder whether that was a yellow flag zone, and de Resta perhaps really shouldn't have done that. Aaron Mason goes back past him. Whoops, somebody slowed up right ahead of them as well, and that's Josh Cagle having a moment. Wow, somehow both Mason and de Resta managed to avoid him. But Aaron Mason came oh so close to a huge accident there. Sam Morgan's car is off the road as well. He and Cagill are both off the road. They did make contact, as you can clearly see, and they are going no further. And there's another Golf in trouble as well. Limping out of the S's is Paul Ingall's car. James Pyle being towed away. I mean, nobody left at this rate. Right, this is how Stefan de Resta saw it all. Comes downhill. It's very hard to see Marshall's posts because they're quite a long way away from the road there, but he realises there's a car being snatched out of the way, so he slows. Lets Aaron Mason come back to retake the place. And then up the road, look, was the slow Golf to avoid, but Cagill goes onto the grass in avoidance, comes across the road. Mason and de Resta somehow avoid him. And then there's clearly contact as Sam Morgan gets involved and hits Cagill's errant Sirocco. We're on the last lap. David Sutton is the race leader. Lucas Orrock needs to be the race winner to win the championship, and Robert Barrable wants to be the race leader. Down they come, 2 corners to go. This is the first of them, the Melbourne hairpin, and Sutton gets shouldered out of the way by Orrock, and up the inside comes Barrable, who takes over the race lead. Lucas Orrock needs to get ahead of Robert Barrable. Up towards the left-hander of Roberts they come for the final time. If Barrable wins the race, Fullbrook will win the championship. Here they come. Robert Barrable heads towards the timing line, and he wins the final race of the season. For second is Lucas Orrock, and Joe Fullbrook comes across the line. Does he know he's won the championship? He may need to go and talk to the team, but a flash of the lights I think proves that he does know that Joe Fullbrook has won the title. Stefan de Resta, after his dreadful start, comes across the line, and here are the walking wounded. Joe McMillan up towards the timing line ahead of Kieran Gallagher. That's for 14th place. Wide goes McMillan, but Gallagher not really able to nip up the inside and take advantage. So over the line they come, checkered flag waved. It is a good job, it's the end of the season. There's lots of repair work to do as Paul de Hadre and Simon Deaton come across the line, but it is Joe Fullbrook's championship. It's been a very lively way to end the season. Lots of damage and a few penalties fly around as well. David Sutton given a penalty for that contact in the original start with Aaron Mason, and that drops Sutton way down the order. So Fullbrook takes third, Barrable the win.
Robert Barrable, welcome to the Volkswagen Racing Cup.
Yeah, it was a fair introduction. We didn't think we'd be on the top step of the podium, but it was really, really good. Got a really clean start, but the 2 lads were defending for a championship, and just coming into the last year, and they went defensive, and I went for the cutback and just kind of made it been a little bit ambitious with the manoeuvre. Would have paid off. The lads a small bit of contact, but rubbing is racing, as they say.
So from your point of view, it was that last corner it was a racing incident?
Yeah, well, nothing was deliberate. The lads are racing for a championship. I've nothing to gain by being involved with anything, or been any abruptness to them or any bad driving standards. So to be fair, it was a real clean race, and I'm really, really happy. The team have put out a brilliant car, and we drove really, really, put all our heads together. So it's been really, really good.
Lucas, P2, it must be a bittersweet podium for you today.
Yeah, I think in ways, it would have been nice to come over with the championship, but coming into the weekend, we knew it was more Joe's to lose than ours to win. It's he was a few points ahead, and he's good around here. You could see from testing, straight away he knew his way around. So it was going to be unlikely. Basically, something had to go wrong for him, and you never really wish that on someone else. So really, reflecting on the year, we had a terrible start. Had it not been for that, I think we could have taken the title quite easily. But everyone's had bad races, so it's easy to look back and nitpick. But I think it's been a fantastic year. I didn't expect to come into the last round with a chance of winning the championship in my first year in car racing. So I think it's a really good result, and regardless of just missing out on the title or whatever, I'm very happy with the way things have gone.
Oh, Joe Fullbrook, 3 times a Volkswagen Racing Cup champion. How does that sound?
Well, I'll tell you what, that was by the skin of my teeth. There's not the best way to win, but no, it's a win's a win, I suppose, as they say. But no, big thanks to the sponsors. Warranty Direct brought us here this year. We've had a great year in some ways, and a lot of unreliability, but so have the others, if you like. But no, great thanks to the team as well. Russell, Tiny, Greg, Matty, and all the boys that come with us, look after the car, all the guys at AWM as well, Aaron and that. We've all had a great year again, and really pleased. But that did come down to the wire big time at the end there. You know, what with Lucas having a battle with the other cars at the front there, I thought he was going to nip it, but luckily, I think he just got pipped on the line, so enabled us to just have enough points to sneak through. I think by 4 points, I think it was in the end.
So Joe Fulbrook wins the Volkswagen Racing Cup for the 3rd time. But Lucas Orrock has had a great debut season. He finishes the year 2nd ahead of Stefan Di Resta, Aaron Mason 4th ahead of the much improved David Sutton, and James Greenway 6th at the end of a superb season of racing.